Please welcome to the stage our 2018 Conference MC, Mr. Michael Altschuler.
Hello. So I see I'm competing against lunch. Wow, that's a tough one. It is an honor and a privilege to be your MC today and tomorrow. Anyway, I got this coat and I have got a lot of stares. A lot of you, and I did see a few people pointing, and I have to tell you, I did hear a woman say to the person she was with, she whispered, she said, "Hey, I don't think he has any mirrors in his house." Perhaps the greatest lesson of all was, when you meet anyone, anywhere, at any time, leave them with a smile on their heart and a laugh on their face. And it gives credence to what we've heard our whole life is take time out to smell the roses. And it's true, we should. But then I had a great, at least I thought it was great, my son not so much, a great idea, kind of a revelation. I would buy a dozen roses and go out to the parking lot, and every woman that I saw, give them a rose. There's two stories that stand out in my mind of doing this multiple times. And I really did do this. Those of you who know me know I really did do this. So I go out to a woman, she's almost to her car, and I say, "Here, I'd like you to have this rose." And she said, "For what?" I said, "Just have this rose and have a nice day." And I saw her eyes welling up with tears. And as she held the rose, she says, "You don't know what this means to me." She said, "I work in a pediatric ICU unit, and last week we had 3 babies die. And my life has been pure hell. And this is the first bright spot that has happened to me in the last week." And tears now are streaming down her face. "Thank you so much." And we embraced in a hug. Now, on a more humorous note, I was in Winn-Dixie this particular time, I have a dozen roses, and I'm getting ready to hand out my last rose. Yes, it felt like bachelorette. So I go up to a woman, and I tend not to do this. She was with a child. Her daughter was probably 6 years old, and I know a mother is protective who's a stranger coming up. And I go up to her and I say, "Here, I'd like you to have this rose." And she says, "What do you want?" I said, "I don't want anything. I'd just like you to have this rose." She said, No. No one does something for nothing. What do you want?" I said, "I don't want anything. You want something." "I don't want anything." She was from New York. So, you know what? I talk about this story and I talk about random acts of kindness. All of you, I've had the pleasure of meeting so many of you. The work that you do makes such a difference in people's lives. You're constantly doing things that are making an impact, that are changing the trajectory of people's lives. Good morning. I did have many people come up to me and they introduced themselves and they said, "You look familiar, but I can't place where I know you from." I said, "I'm your MC. Oh, the coat." And that's, so they kind of were a little upset that I toned it down today. Keep it up. Keep it up in the air. Good job. Good job. Let's move. Let's get those bodies moving. Oh boy. Look at this. What a champion. Oh no, that's okay. That's what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a deck of cards. It's an invisible deck of cards. I'm going to throw you the deck of cards. I want you to catch it and follow my instructions. Pretty simple? Okay, and then we'll get to the creative part. And what was the card you selected? Hold that card like that. You would show them the card. Now, 15 years ago, there was a woman sitting in my audience. Her name was Lynn Gidrow. And after she was done, she was touched by my talk, and she sent me a week later a poem that her grandmother, before she passed away, sent her. And like I said, regardless of whether it's a high-powered sales program or a peak performance program, all my keynotes since I received this poem are closed with a poem entitled, the dash. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noticed that first came her date of birth and spoke the second date with tears. But he said that what mattered most of all was that dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that she spent alive on earth. And now only those who loved her know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we have, the car, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real and always try to understand the way other people feel. If we could be less quick to anger and show appreciation more and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we could treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that the special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, will you be proud of the things they said about how you spent your dash? It is my sincerest hope, wish, and prayer that each of you continues to spend your dash in a meaningful way that will make a difference in your families, your friends, your coworkers, those in need that are marginalized in our society. I pray this for all of you. Thank you, and God bless you all.